What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, it's your homie FuturisticMike, and I'm back with another Power Book 2 Ghost video if you're new. Now, this is going to be the recap for Power Book 2 Ghost Season 1, Episode 3, Play the Game. If you're a fan of Power, if you love Power, hit the like on this video. If you're new to my channel and this is the first time you're finding me, subscribe and turn on those post notifications so when I post videos on Power Book 2 Ghost, you get them. Man. Things are heating up for Tariq, that's for sure. Things are going to get dangerous for Tariq going forward. No doubt about it. You know, they're going to get real dangerous for him. He done made a deal with the devil. Now he's in business with Monet and the Tejadas. He's official now with them. So things are going to get crazy for him. Probably Braden too. Things are going to get crazy for him because we know Braden is going to be helping. But damn, man, things are going to get nuts. Things are going to get insane. I'm not even going to hold y'all up too much, man. Let's just get right into the recap because this was a crazy episode. Now, when the episode first starts, we see Kane and Drew riding around in the city. They're making moves. We see drug deals being exchanged. We see Drew taking money and stuff from the window, you know, throwing money right into the bag. Kane's driving. He has that look on his face like, man, nobody better mess with me. You know, they're making all types of drug deals and exchanges, and we can see finally what these two are up to because we didn't get to see any drug deal exchanges in the first two episodes. So now we actually get to see a little bit of that drug dealing life. Then Drew and Kane come home and Diana's sitting on the couch and she's like, man, what took y'all so long? And Drew's explaining to her like, look, business takes time sometimes. And then Diana gets on Instagram and she sees that the GTG boys are flexing. They're doing things they're not supposed to be doing. When you're in a drug organization like this, you're not supposed to be on social media doing things like that, doing stuff that's hot, stuff that'll get you exposed. So Monet walks in and she's like, man, you got 10 seconds to tell me what the fuck is going on in here. So they're just sitting there staring for a minute and then Diana shows her the phone. And she's like, man, see, people are always doing hot stuff. And she is not happy about this at all. Because she doesn't want her operation to get exposed. This is literally exposing her operation. She gets pissed off and she storms into the kitchen. You know, she is heated. Then we get to Tasha, Davis McLean, and Paula Matarazzo. And they're like, man, look, you have to tell us the truth. So she starts talking about Ghost again and what he used to do. You know, the moves he used to make and everything. She's trying to explain to them that she is not the queen pin. So then she asks them to take the stand. Paula obviously doesn't think this is a good idea, but Davis agrees to it. He says, okay, you can take the stand. But then when Tasha leaves back to her cell, Paula is like, man, we can't let her take the stand. She hasn't been real with us since the beginning. And Davis is like, I know this, but she doesn't know this. Then we get to canonical studies, back to the classroom. Tariq walks in. You know, they're putting him on the spot all the time. They want to see if Tariq is actually paying attention. He speaks up and the professor is just not feeling it. He starts speaking his mind, saying how he doesn't agree with everything. You know, he has a different perspective on things than everybody else, saying that everybody else has their own opinion. The professor is just acting like he seriously does not feel what Tariq is saying. So then Tariq goes into the hall after class and he talks to Lauren. And she's basically just telling Tariq what he needs to do to get the professor off his ass. There's just something about Lauren though that I really don't trust because if you guys notice in the classroom, the dude that she was sitting next to was saying to her like, what is this dude doing? And Lauren was saying, I don't know what this dude is doing. She was lightweight talking shit and I don't know if she's gonna get involved with this dude that was sitting next to her in the future or what, and Tariq will get jealous, but I don't know. It seems like this dude might be wanting to holler at Lauren. I just feel like Lauren has some secrets that's gonna come out in the future. Then we get to Tariq. He texts Braden and said, yo, still down to make money? And you already know Braden is down. He texts back and says, no doubt. Then we get to the prison and Tasha walks up to old girl that needed the Plan B pill and she says, you dropped something, and throws the Plan B on her tray. So then they start talking. She says, look, I need a friend in here. You know how to move in here. And old girl says, but you do too. Like, where'd you get this? And then some dude is watching Tasha taking pictures and everything, and it turns out this dude is taking pictures for Lorenzo. So then he goes to see Lorenzo and he tells Lorenzo exactly what's going on with Tasha. He says that she didn't take the Plan B herself, she gave it away. So Lorenzo is trying to find out things on Tasha because Lorenzo was actually the one that got the Plan B pill in there for Tasha, so he wants to know who he's dealing with. Then we see a call between Lorenzo and Monet. They're talking about the GTG boys that disrespected them or whatever. Lorenzo says that he doesn't know if he wants to do anything about it because they looked out for him before or something like that. And then he says, have Drew take care of it. And Monet doesn't really like that idea. She's like, man, Kane will handle it. And Lorenzo says, I didn't say Kane, I said Drew. So Drew has to take care of this. So Monet goes to tell Kane that, look, you need to go with Drew, but don't let him know that you're there. Just go there to protect him, but do not let him know you're there. Then we see Tariq in the dormitory, and he's talking to Zeke. He's like, man, I don't know about this paper, man. Like, you're telling me at the last minute about papers and stuff. I got my own work to do. And Zeke is like, man, come on. Like, I need you to do my papers or I'm not going to be able to play ball. So Tariq is like, fine, man, damn. You can tell Tariq is starting to get irritated with Zeke. Doing his work is starting to be too much for Tariq because he has a whole bunch of things on his plate. Then we see Tasha, and she's getting transferred in a little van, and the guard has to say something smart, of course. She always has to say something smart. I'm wondering if Tasha is going to have to kill this guard like Ghost had to kill Charlie Murphy's character, because this guard needs her ass whooped. Then we get to Tasha. They're getting her all ready for court. They're trying to make her look all pretty, not saying she don't already look pretty because she is fine. But they're just trying to put a weave on her and everything, make her look nice and presentable, pretty much to make her look innocent when she goes in that courtroom. Tasha comes in there and she starts bitching at Davis. She's like, man, what is this? Like, why is there gonna be a jury? What are we doing right now? And Davis says, like, this is pretend. Just go up there and pretend there is a jury and tell your side of things. Then we get to Tariq and Brayden, and they're outside of a pediatrician, and apparently Brayden is stealing pages for scripts of pills and stuff, and they're talking about business in the future, and Brayden is saying, like, I gotta go to Connecticut to go fill these scripts, and I'm really not trying to do that, so what's up with the connect? So they're talking about a connect, and then Tariq pretty much says, I'll hit you up if I have anything. So we see Tasha, she's up on the stand, she's saying everything she has to say about how she loved James, but she did things she's not proud of. She opened checking accounts and all kinds of accounts to launder money. She said they fell in love and got married and had kids. She told the story about how he had a gun and he gave it to her like when they were getting pulled over, and she put it in her maternity dress. She was 7 months pregnant. And ever since then, they knew they loved each other and they got married. And we heard this story before. If you guys remember early on in Power, I think it was season 1 or season 2, Lakeisha was explaining to Tasha's friends the whole story of why Ghost proposed to Tasha. I know you guys remember that scene. That's a classic Power scene, but she was just retelling this story. But it seemed like everything she was saying, the jury actually believed her until later on when Tamika came up in there. Now Diana texts Tariq and says, here, you know, they're outside the school. Apparently Zeke is going to have a game. Monet comes walking up, and we already seen this scene. You know, this scene got released before the episode. It was called Positions. I talked about it in another video. Diana is just wondering why she can't play ball like Zeke. She wants to play basketball, and Monet says, you can't because we need you in the family. And she doesn't think that the family needs her, but they really do. She thinks the family can operate without her, but really she actually is useful to the family. Now we see Zeke in the locker room. Everybody's gearing up to play some basketball, and this dude that's taking Zeke's spot was pretty much talking shit like, yeah, this is my spot. You know, I don't know if you're going to be coming back. I'm taking over. And Zeke is like, don't get too comfortable because I am coming back. I don't know what you think you're doing. But this dude is pretty much talking shit. It looked like it probably would have went a little bit farther, but then the coach walked in and said, what are you guys doing? Gear up and get out there. And then the coach told Zeke that he's going to have to talk to some reporters and everything. So Monet, Diana, and Tariq walk up to the school, and Tariq is trying to talk to Monet, but she won't speak to him at all. Because right before this, Monet told Diana that anybody Tariq gets close to ends up dead or in jail. She got this information from the cop. So she knows a little bit about Tariq, but Tariq doesn't know why she's mad. Tariq asks Diana, like, is your mom mad at me or what? Monet talks to Zeke's coach, and the coach tells her that, you know, Zeke is not ready to play yet. His grades aren't up yet. She thought like he was going to be able to play. She came to the game all ready to watch him, and she was very disappointed. Then Tariq and Diana are talking, and Diana is just talking about her mom, how she takes things out on her, and that she doesn't know what to do. And I think personally that she was giving out too much information to Tariq, because she was telling Tariq all about their business and everything like that, and she shouldn't have did that. It seems like she's playing both sides. She's saying what her mom wants to hear, and also she's saying what Tariq wants to hear. I definitely can see her being in a relationship with Tariq in the future, because it actually does seem like she likes Tariq, like genuinely likes Tariq. Then we get to the scene where Epiphany walks in this room with this white boy, and she says that her dance is already paid for. She said she's gonna give him a birthday dance or something, and he's like, it's not my birthday. And she said, don't worry about nothing, it's already paid for. And apparently Tariq sent Epiphany over there. I really don't know why he sent her over there, but Tariq texted her and said, keep him there. Now we get to Drew. He goes and confronts the GTG boys. He has a little sit down with the dude who was making the Instagram live, and they're just talking, chopping it up. And then he finally confronts him like, yo, you gotta chill that out. You can't be doing this on Instagram live. You're making things too hot. Monet said to chill that out. So then he went on Instagram live again with this girl, and he tried to show Drew on it. So then Drew smacks the phone out of his hand, and things were getting heated. They were getting ready to fight, and then Kane walks in the room. And dude instantly got scared of Kane. He was like, look, Kane, we were just playing around. It seems like people really fear Kane in the streets. And then Kane's silly ass shoots up the room. He starts firing shots off, a whole bunch of shots. Then they go outside, and the cops pull up. The cop in the passenger seat starts running after him, and they start running. They go in this alley, and Kane was getting ready to shoot this dude. But the cop that Monet is sleeping with stopped the dude from going back there. He was like, look, I seen them go somewhere else. So this cop Monet was sleeping with actually saved this dude's life, the cop's life, because Kane was getting ready to shoot this dude. We're seeing more and more how ruthless Kane is. He just does not care about anything. Then the cop comes over to see Monet, and he's like, man, look, y'all need to chill out. You need to shut your operation down, because your boys were there and things could have really got out of hand. He told her that people were shooting and that all kinds of things could have went wrong. He wants to know why Monet is even messing with Lorenzo in the first place, and she explains to him all the time that, you know, it's for protection. While she's talking to the cop, she gets a text from Lorenzo saying to come and see him the next day. So we get to Tariq and Braden. He's counting cash and saying he needs more to help his mother, so they start talking about a plan to help Tasha and just to get the money flowing. Now back in the courtroom, Tamika comes in there, and this time Tamika is going to be asking Tasha questions instead of Davis. Now remember, this is just pretend. This is just a warm-up for when the trial actually happens. But Tamika was really letting Tasha have it, and Tasha was tearing up. You know, she was feeling real bad for what Tamika was saying, because Tamika brought up Angela Valdez, and she brought up all kinds of things in the past, and it was making Tasha feel some type of way. She really let Tasha have it, and Tasha was not feeling it at all. Tamika is one hell of an attorney. She really is. She really puts the pressure on people. Tasha didn't have nothing to say. And all the people from the jury said Tasha was guilty. After court, Paula comes and talks to Tasha and says she better start telling the truth. Things better start changing, or that orange uniform is going to be the last uniform she ever wears. So Davis asked Tamika if she wants to join the team. He says, a power black attorney team, you know, we can really do things out here. He says we can make a difference. And she says she does not want to do it. There's no way. Once Sack's name gets brought up, she wants nothing to do with it. Davis tells her that he heard that she represented Sacks because he was getting ready to go to jail. And she was like, where the hell did you hear about that? But apparently Paula found it somewhere. She looked it up and found that information. But she still wouldn't help Davis. She doesn't want to represent Tasha. She wants nothing to do with this case. Tasha should have never fired Tamika in the first place. That's her fault. Then we get to Lorenzo and Monet. They're sleeping together. They're having a little conversation. And he says, the way you're doing things out here in the streets ain't working. She's like, what do you expect me to do? And he starts talking about the kids, saying how Drew needs to have more responsibility. He needs to learn how to do this because he already knows how Kane is. Kane can get things done. And Monet says, Drew is not cut like Diana and Kane. He is not ready for this. And Lorenzo's just trying to make Drew ready no matter what. He wants his whole family to be like him. This dude is seriously not to be messed with. I could see that in this episode. This dude is kind of scary. Then we get to Tariq and Lauren talking again. They're talking about their paper and their grades. Lauren got an A on her paper. Tariq looks at his paper and it says no credit. You know, he's very upset. Lauren says, I'm so sorry. So then Tariq storms into Jabari Reynolds' office and he's like, man, why did you give me no credit? Jabari's like, man, you need to be authentic. You're not being yourself. You're not trying hard enough. And Tariq is like, I cannot fail. Just what can I do to make this up? And he says, there's nothing you can do. Just do better next time. Then we get back to the Tejada house. They're all chilling in the living room. Monet walks in and says, man, what the hell is going on? Y'all got to tell me what's going on in here. She found out what happened when Kane shot up the place and she just starts yelling at him like, man, y'all did the wrong move. You shouldn't have did that. She said she's sick of cleaning up their mess, and then they ended up leaving. She talks to Diana like, are you calling your father with a burner phone? Are you calling him behind my back? She says, no, I'm not calling him, but really she is. Then we get to Zeke and Tariq is pissed the hell off. He's like, man, you're gonna have to start doing some of your own work. I'm doing your work and my work and I can't keep up with all of it. I failed my paper. Now, you're gonna have to start doing something about it. I can't keep doing this. And then Zeke was like, okay, man, chill. Tariq is like, you gonna have to do me a favor because last time I asked you for a favor, you acted like you didn't want to do it. So do a favor for me. Now we get to Jabari and the student in the office. You know, she's coming on to Jabari hardcore. She's flirting with him and he's like, man, it's getting late. You need to get out of here. And she's trying to kiss him. So he turns her down, but then she tries to leave and then he ends up closing the door and he ends up smashing. Kara dad walks in the office because she forgot to do something. She's in the office doing her work and she hears a noise. She doesn't know what's going on. And for a minute, I thought she was going to go in Jabari's office. I thought she was going to catch your boy Jabari red-handed and then it would have really been over with. But it's bad enough she heard it through the wall. She heard this chick screaming Jabari's name and it was just crazy, man. It was just crazy. He was in there clapping some cheeks, so he was in there getting it. And obviously this was not very good for your girl Kara dad. She was not very happy at all. We all know she has a love and sex addiction and she is hurt over this. She really is. Now I have a feeling she's gonna sleep with Tariq or somebody else to get back at Jabari, and that would really piss off Jabari because Jabari really ain't feeling Tariq as it is. So if she were to sleep with him and Jabari finds out, man, I wouldn't want to be Tariq. But I have a feeling that's gonna happen. I really do. She's a sex addict. So it wouldn't even surprise me if she tried to sleep with your boy Tariq St. Patrick. Then we get to Diana and Monet in the kitchen. She still does not believe that Diana is not calling Lorenzo behind her back. So she says, where the hell is the phone? She ends up finding the phone, this burner phone. She throws it on the ground and smashes it and says, don't you dare lie to me like that again. She says, you're living under my roof. You're gonna follow my rules. So then we get to Monet. She comes to the dorm. Zeke is still in there. And she was like, man, look, I thought you said you was gonna be here by yourself. So Zeke says, I know, I'm sorry, I did say that, but Tariq wanted to meet with you. So Monet says, you have 5 minutes. So Zeke goes to wait in the car, and Tariq has a little chat with your girl, Monet. They start talking about business. Tariq says, look, I want to start doing business with you. He hands her a bag of cash, and this had to have at least been like $50,000. 50,000 big ones, because man, that looked like a lot of money. And she's like, I don't know you. I cannot trust you. And Tariq says we can change that. You know what I mean? Like, this can benefit both of us. He said he made that in like less than a day at school. He said, how long does it take you to make some type of money like this? He wants to get in business with your girl, Mary J. So eventually he convinces her and she agrees to it. But then Tasha calls and Monet tells him to get the phone. She says, we'll be in contact at a later point in time. So he answers the phone and he's talking to Tasha. Then we get to Monet calling Lorenzo, and Lorenzo says, how can we trust this kid Tariq? Monet says we can't trust him, but I know how to keep him in line. So Lorenzo ends up calling Tasha, and he tells her, like, look, your kid is working for us. It's in everybody's best interest for Tariq to do what we say, and if he doesn't do what we say, then your boy is gonna be dead. So now we really see that Lorenzo is not to be messed with. This dude is dangerous. So Tasha looks like she's very scared, and I don't blame her because she's in prison. There's nothing she can do about this. You know, she is obviously very nervous after getting this call. So Tariq is definitely in for some trouble in the future. He better watch his back. But that's the end of the episode. I thought it was a solid ass episode, man. It was dope. We didn't get no kills in this episode. Obviously, we're not gonna get a kill in every episode. There's much more to this show than that. But it did show some of the drug dealing. It showed some of that gritty life in this episode. That's what I like to see. That's what makes the show fun to watch. Those action-packed scenes. It did have some of that. Them running from the cops, and you know, it just had some action throughout. I really loved this episode. I have a feeling it's building up slow, but I have a feeling we're about to get on a roller coaster. Things are about to get crazy real quick. I just have a feeling. But this episode was good, man. I really don't have any complaints. I know people are going to be nitpicking with each episode, saying how things are wrong and everything, and how it doesn't feel like the old Power, which is true. This episode did feel a little bit different than Power Book 1, but I'm still not going to complain. You know, at least Power is back. This is still the same universe of the show that we love. So I'm just happy that it's back. You know, Stars is doing great with this show. Courtney Kemp, 50 Cent. Everybody that's involved is doing a phenomenal job. So I thank you guys for everything. I can't wait for the next episode. Man, I am ready. What did you guys think about the episode? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Comment everything you liked down below. Comment your theories, predictions, thoughts, everything down below. Keep supporting your boy, and I'll be continuing to bring y'all Power Book 2 Ghost content in the future. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and smash that notification bell so you can never miss a video. Let me get out of here, y'all. It's your boy Futuristic Mike, and I'll talk to you on the next one. I'm out. Peace.